Hi ladies, in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the treasure chest that's available at the Silhouette online store and LoriWhitlock.com that I created. And it's a bit of a extensive project, so let's get started. In front of me you'll see that I've pulled all the pieces that are skinnier. So all these trim pieces are for the lid, all these pieces are for the lid as well. And if you've assembled my shadow boxes, you'll understand this technique pretty well. Basically, I've taken, this piece was two pieces, just like on our base of our box, but I've gone ahead and glued them together to create this outer portion of our lid for our box. This piece was able to fit on a single sheet of paper. It's the interior piece. In fact, I'm folding it the wrong way. You need to fold the wood to the inside so that the inside of your treasure chest looks like the pattern that you want it to look like. And I have done this out of wood thinking that would be really cute. So make sure the wood is to the inside on that single piece and to the outside on the larger piece that's assembled by two pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this wood piece closed, and I'm going to put the glue on the inside on the wood part so that I can overlap it and hide it on this inside piece. This is going to be the inside of our lid. You'll look inside the box and see this. So I'm just kind of gluing that into place so that it can be drying. Making sure that that's snugly right in place. Okay, I'll set that aside for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and this is the outer part of our box, and this is our little face frame. In fact, this will be the lid part that closes down in our box. So I'm going to go ahead and glue, let's start actually with this this inner piece. So I'm going to go ahead and fold all these flaps to the inner piece to the outside. Okay, that will let us create this little inside of our lid. I'll go ahead and put some glue on this little face frame. And I'll go ahead and glue this into place, making sure that just the edges of the paper are right in line with the inside of this frame. And I'm going to let that just dry for a minute. Sometimes it helps to put just a little bit of weight when you're drying your pieces. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is glue the outer piece in place. I'm just going to I'm going to pull these flaps straight up to get them out of the way for a moment. And go ahead and put this outer piece into place. And you can see that when you glue everything down, you're going to get this nice lid. Okay, glue on that. Go ahead and slip that down into place. And I'm going to go ahead and work my way around, putting that into place. Okay, once you kind of have everything where you want it, then you just need to put some pressure on it. Okay, and you'll notice inside here we have a couple layers of cardstock. So what we need to do is pull these top flaps up and kind of glue them to each other so that they're not loose. Okay. Make sure this other side so we can, I guess it just needs a little pressure. It's still wet in there. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside and set some weight on it and let it dry for a minute. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the bottom of our box. I'm going to move all of our top pieces out of the way for a moment and bring all of our bottom pieces of our treasure chest into place. All of these dark brown pieces are trim pieces, and they're going to make our treasure box cute. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and glue these two pieces that match together at the glue flap seam. And I'm going to go ahead and fold those over. We're going to just form that into the base of our treasure chest. So you're going to take a straight edge and one with a little glue flap and stick those together. There's one, and then I'm just going to fold right on that seam. Make sure everything's lined up really well. And then come over to this side and do the same thing so that I can just push down on both of them and put both into place. Okay, so now that is drying. I'm going to set it aside for a moment, put a little bit of weight on it. And we're going to prepare our inner box. And again, this is the side where I want the wood to show inside the box. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that all towards the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this glue flap. And again, don't forget, you want to hide that glue flap out here. You don't want it showing on the inside of your box. So as you're holding it flat, just go ahead and put a little glue in there and pull that flap over and glue it right on down. Now these flaps are all going to be folded to the outside. Okay. So that is now the inside portion of a treasure chest, the base. Okay. And then this is our outer section, and all these flaps need to fold to the inside. Okay. Now we're going to glue everything to the face frame again. So I'm going to take my face frame and place it face down, and I'm going to glue the inside of our box down first. Oops, I got a little too much glue going there, sorry. I talk to myself sometimes. Okay, that's ready to go. Okay. Checking to make sure that this looks good. This is the part you're going to kind of be able to look down into inside your box. Okay, now I'm going to pull these flaps up and out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to place this outer section of our box down onto that. The reason I built this way is it's going to make a nice sturdy treasure chest, and the lid is actually going to function more like a treasure chest would with the wood pieces coming together versus just a really lightweight box. I wanted something a little more sturdy. Okay, I forgot to put the glue down in there, so I'm going to hold this up while I just put some glue on that flap. Okay. Okay, now we're ready to just glue this whole thing down onto that edge. And just kind of work your way around, make sure everything's lining up, make sure all those pieces are tucked in nicely the way they're supposed to be, and that things are gluing down properly. Once you kind of get them in place, then you can just put some pressure on. And I'm going to set this aside and put some weight on it and let it dry. little top section that's all dry and ready to go. One side's all pretty with our face frame, and the other side is not quite as pretty because it's got some corners showing. This is going to be the very top of our box, and you're just going to place one of these rectangles on top to close off the box. So I'm going to go ahead and run a bead of glue around the edge of this box. And stick these pieces on. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. This little piece here is a little bit looser than I would like it to be, so I'm going to take a little glue right down in there too. Using my pen to kind of push it in there. Okay, I'm going to let that have just a minute to dry. And while this other piece is drying, I may as well go ahead and glue these flaps to each other. And I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom on as well, or the top on. So we're going to let two things dry at the same time. Okay, so this is the bottom of our treasure chest here. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry because it needs some pressure to really dry properly. Okay, now back to our top again. Here's our top, and I have some trim pieces that you'll see that you can go ahead and put on. These long rectangles fit on the sides, and oh, there's also a top. Let's see, the top looks like this one right here. Okay, so you can decide where you want the front of your box to be, if there's a side that looks a little bit better, or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and put the glue right on my trim piece. Hi, honey. I'm on a video right now. Yeah, I guess. My kids are outside looking in the window at me. You never know what you're going to get on my videos. But it's all good. We all have kids, right? Okay. Okay, there's my treasure chest top. And I'll go ahead and put the sides on. You can ink the edges and distress it if you'd like. Side. Alright, so there's your top and sides of your treasure chest lid, and there's the inside of the lid. It looks really neat, and you can see the pattern on the back side of the wood grain, which is kind of fun. Just so you know, this is cut out of my This and That collection, Charming pattern paper for Echo Park. Okay, I'm going to take the bottom of our treasure chest. Okay, this is what your treasure chest looks like, and here's what it's going to look like when it's all put together. And we'll have a little hinge on the back. So it's going to be darling. So let's go ahead and trim this off as well. This piece is going to go on the front of your treasure chest. And it will kind of match up with this lid piece as well. should be putting this on the trim. I'm just going to run it down these two lines in the middle and on that little keyhole area. Okay, there's the front. Now, onto the back. And then we'll do it. Well, it actually works pretty well. I'll run the bead around the four corner edges and then down the two lines on this trim piece. Okay. That's the back of the treasure chest. Now we need to do the two sides. Making sure to get those going in the right direction. Okay. Now that's the other side. Oops, this one's kind of loose. Hold it down tight enough, I guess. And those two sides into place. So this, as you can see, this is a really strong and sturdy box. It's got double walls all the way around. You know, this is the first time I put this together, and I'm realizing that I probably need to put a piece right in here. So I will modify the file before I upload it. But I will put a little piece that goes right here. I've also included in the file a little tiny keyhole. It looks like this, and I have only cut it out of brown, so you're not going to see it very well. But it fits right here on this little piece. You could cut it out of yellow or something if you'd like. The other thing I've included in the file are some little hinges to hold the lid on, and they will just adhere right here to the back of the lid, and they will hinge the box so it can open and close like that. So I hope you enjoy making this fun treasure chest, and I will see you on our next exciting video. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.